What's going on, guys? Gibbs is back with some more RLCS player interviews. This week I have Quinn Lobdell. What's up, Quinn?
What up? What's going on, Gibbs?
All right, Quinn.
We
So I
already.
wanted to start
Oh, good.
all
Yeah.
the way back in the Pro League. Your last set was against Mocket. You had a 4-1 them, and you wound up 3-2 in them to miss the playoffs.
Dude, you're gonna bring up bad memories like that, man? You're
I
gonna do
know
that to me?
exactly. Yeah, maybe
Just
like,
right away. First question.
how did you guys feel? Like, were you upset even before that, going into wow, failure to launch just 5-0? Now we
Okay.
have to 4-1.
Yeah. So let me illustrate the scenario here. I think as far as teams in RLC, we were probably the one team that played the least with our full roster, right? So we knew that we had to like have a strong ending to like the normal season. We weren't really worried. Honestly, me, Ed, and Gambit really didn't practice so much,
Yeah.
almost at all. I'm sure that you can remember and you can like vouch for me. We actually started to scrim a little bit towards the end. It's
Yeah.
probably the
We scrimmed a
most
bunch.
we
Yeah.
ever practiced as a team, besides like bullshit ranked, but that doesn't really help you so much.
Yeah, exactly. No one's really taking it seriously usually.
Um, so so we never really let me just say straight away, Gambit is like an fucking best player I've ever played with, right? Um, he makes it really easy in the sense that like he actually, me as a player, like I try to let other people do the fancy shit. I
Yeah.
never really cared so much,
Yeah.
right?
Same with me, kind of. Yeah.
I just I just want to like give people like the hits that they need or like pressure at the right time. Make it easy on them
Yeah.
to
Gotcha.
like get into goal scoring situations. And Gambit understood me all the time. And me and Ed played, Ed's the first person I ever made a team with, right? Orange
Yeah.
Creamsicle's our baby. So we already
By the
had the
way, that
synergy.
was a
So we weren't
fantastic
really
game
worried.
too.
Oh, thank you.
Fantastic game. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
All the try hard names, man, not my style, man.
Yeah, I got
So we had to get something a little crazy. But basically, we knew we had to have a strong showing. And what really caught us off guard was failure to launch 5-0ing Apollo 11, which was Husky, Flo, and Ozzy
you. Yeah.
at the time. And I'm pretty sure they didn't play with Flo. It was like Husky, Prime Thunder, and Ozzy
Oh
that
yeah,
day.
that's possible. Like they moved Prime into
Yeah,
their starting roster
basically, yeah,
basically by then.
they had they had a 4-man roster, kind of like SK did
Yeah.
back when they studied Yemen. And so, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just think that, like, the only difficult things that you need to make sure your synergy is really on point so that players can be interchangeable. And you need to know, like, what it is that a player brings to the team to be able to, like, handle that, handle the switch, I should
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, I
And I
got you.
guess I'm not sure what happened. Flo at the time was playing really well. And they just, and so was Prime Thunder. But I think, like, Huskies played with Ozzy the longest, and he just, for some reason or another, he chose not to take Flow, which I think hurt them a lot.
Yeah, the game was tough for them
And
because they started off so poorly in the RLC that so I think they wanted to make a change with Prime as like a spark. But then it's like, like he did spark them for like a week, and then after that it was like, maybe this
well,
wasn't the right move, but who knows?
like I think that Flow was anchor for their team
Yeah,
in the sense that like he kind of just brought some consistency. Even if he's not playing the best, he's not going to let easy shots go in, and he finishes, you know, pretty consistently. Like converts most chances he gets. So I'm not going to question it, but I thought that was a bad decision. And so when they 5-0'd Apollo, that put us in a bad situation against Mocket. And we had complete confidence in 4-1ing them.
yeah,
That was not an issue for us. And like if
yeah.
you look through
Market
the
was in a huge
games, like
slump. Yeah.
the only issue I should say that came up, I think that at the time we had confidence in ourselves. It was just what Orange Creamsicle was going to show up.
Yep.
At our best, I thought that we could take. I thought we were like arguably number one in NA, and at our worst, I thought we were shaky.
Yeah. Plus, like, I think what hurt you guys too, just to put it out there, like, Mocket knew at the time that was going to be their last set together. So I think they were kind of just going into it carefree and a little bit more in a good mood, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
Going into it.
We definitely had the pressure on us.
Yeah, exactly. They had nothing to lose, and you guys had everything to lose, so probably didn't help.
Yeah, but, if you actually go back and, like, if anyone goes and sees the replays, we actually had 2 certain goals that just, like, teammate miscommunication.
Yeah.
At the time, I wasn't playing that much Rocket League. I was like kind of going through like a little bit of a rough patch with it, and so was Ed. But Ed definitely had played the least, and I'm not sure if it was like just I don't want to point out Ed because it's all of our faults. Honestly, it's a team game. You can never point out one individual, but like we just weren't flowing the way we needed to guarantee that 4-1. Yeah. And kind of sucks because we had it, like we had it in the bag and everything. We would have won that Wasteland game, and I'm pretty sure, once we win 2 games, like I think that their morale would have been like pretty KO. Even if they did have nothing to lose, I think they would have just kind of fallen apart.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
but it is what it is. We lost, and Gambit right afterwards said that he was going to look for another team, and I kind of figured that.
Yeah, like especially if you guys aren't practicing, or maybe he just wanted something more serious.
Rough enough for us. I'm like the only West Coast pro.
Well, yeah. Well, now Low 5 and them are starting to be more West Coast.
Low 5 is like mountain time too.
That's true. Mountain time.
Like, yeah. I'm the only like person, I swear, besides Waffles, but he's not even full time anymore.
Rip.
Yeah, rip. Rocket League West Coast pro scene, man. It's a struggle.
Yeah, e-servers default for everything. Like, oh man, killing you. So on that. So
wait.
After...
By the way, Psionics, if you're watching, fix the fucking West Coast servers, please. I'm sorry if I'm not supposed to swear, but
oh, I don't care.
Oh, sweet Jesus, they're absolutely terrible, and makes me ashamed to think that Tupac and those servers came from the same place. Tupac would not be proud. Psionics, Tupac would not be proud. Okay, go ahead.
So you mentioned Gambit wanting to leave right after the Pro League. What happened between you and Edwind? What was up with him?
Okay, me and Ed are still on good terms. Like I said, Ed and I were both kind of going through rough patches on Rocket League, and me and Ed have actually stuck together ever since we made a team together, which is, pretty damn long.
Yeah, probably like 6 months or so at least.
Well, we were there at least since the first power rankings.
Okay, yeah. That was like
so yeah, we've definitely been there.
Yeah, a month in.
Yeah, we've definitely been there for a while. I think we kind of all just like took a little bit of a breather. Ed said that he was down to keep playing, but me and Ed actually made an agreement with each other a really long time ago. Like, look, we're homies. We've been playing this game for so long. We got like good together, joined the pro scene together, all that stuff. Like, we don't really care so much if we win as long as we're playing together.
Yeah.
So a little bit of companionship. I wasn't really like down to break that, so I was gonna play with Ed pretty much no matter what. But I think we were all kind of like a little bit jaded after that loss. Like, not making it into the playoffs really surprised all of us, to be quite frank with you.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like, I had you guys as like the only other team that could beat a Europe team. Like, I didn't think Failure to Launch had it in them, but like on your best day, like you were saying that you were one of like the best in North America, and so I thought that's what would be needed to beat a Europe team. So I was expecting you guys to make playoffs as well, but yeah, it didn't happen.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
but
like Failure to Launch is a great team, so Or doubtful.
Yeah, and they've actually improved a lot. Shout out to Failure to Launch. I've known them for a long fucking time.
Well, now
And
Orbit,
really...
GG.
Oh yeah, Orbit now, I guess, right? Whatever. There's still Failure to Launch in my heart. Yep. Sorry, Orbit. But me and Ed, I should just say, like, make it quick. Me and Ed, we're down to keep playing. Ed kind of, I guess, was taking it a little less seriously. He's not down to, like, he doesn't want to be practicing and like calming super hard and like making it stressful so much. He just wants to enjoy it. And so, you know, I said, well, once the pro Rocket League, whatever championship series got announced, I told him, like, I'm just gonna go ham at this. I want to practice, you know, as much as I can. Like, I want to take this really seriously. And he said, like, okay, well, I'm down to play. I'm down to sub, like, whatever you want to do, but I'm just not going to be as serious. Mm-hmm. And so that's what led to me looking for a new team.
But during that time of you looking for a new team, what other players besides Sad and Pluto were you, like, looking at, trying to, like, figure out teams? Or was it just right away Sad and Pluto was the team to go to?
We actually debated before Ed said he didn't want to take it seriously at all. We were going to look at, and it was actually set in stone, but I had some last minute thoughts, and so did Ed. But we were going to do me, Classics, and Ed. At the time, Classics was playing really well together. Mm-hmm. Us and Classics were playing really well together. Classics was in good form. We actually had some pretty sweet goals in ranked, the three of us. But Sad came to me and told me, hey, look, actually Sad and Pluto both came to me and said, look, we want to join Orange Creamsicle. Pluto, because, you know, the whole Untethered splitting up.
It was basically all our fault, basically. It's all Cosmic's fault. Grab and latch, and then there goes Sad, and yeah. So we just destroyed everything.
Well, they didn't know that Ed had quit.
Okay.
They both came to me individually, planning to play as me, Ed, and either Sad or me, Ed, and Pluto.
I gotcha. Okay.
Right? And so I'm not sure what the reasoning was, but I know that Pluto told me he figured of all the teams that have an open spot, right? I think that, like, playing with you guys is, like, my best chance at actually having a go at the championship series. And I really was thinking over both of them, and once Ed pretty much told me that he didn't want to play anymore, I was like, yo, why don't we just fucking do us three? Mm-hmm. And we came together, and it was beautiful. It is beautiful. Present tense.
Now, what's your official team name? Let's get it out.
Team Rocket Canada. Team Rocket Canada.
That was a good April Fool's, because people still think it is Team Rocket Canada. I was like, Jesus Christ.
I don't know if, like, people forget about April Fools or what.
Yeah. Well, people don't think the Cosmic roster is what it is because we announced it on April 1st. I'm like, no, it actually is that.
Did you guys actually announce it on April 1st?
Yeah, because that was the last day of signups, so that's when we finally had everything set in stone. Oh, God. So, yeah. All right. So, what's the team name?
That's actually so funny. It's Genesis. It's Genesis. Me,
you should have went Cars Against Humanity.
Cars Against Humanity.
Yes, Cars Against Humanity. It's like Pluto had like a Twitter up for it, so I put Cars Against Humanity, and everyone liked that tweet.
That's
and I was
pretty
like, Pluto,
funny.
It's right there.
Actually,
and I'm like, plus Cards Against Humanity would probably sponsor you because it's a funny joke. Because they have so much money, like, they don't care what they do with it.
Yeah, actually, they're rich as hell, huh?
Yeah.
We were looking at team names, and I got a funny story for you. Let me just tell you right now, if you guys ever need a team name or a name, any creative decisions, Pluto is not the person to go to.
It didn't seem like it from the Twitter. Yeah. All right, so what were some of these botched team names?
He was looking. He's a bowler. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
He bowls. I'm sorry, Pluto, that I have to tell the world about this. He was looking for inspiration from bowling balls. And so I don't know if you know this, but bowling balls have pretty creative names.
Okay.
So there's Ebonite Adrenaline was a bowling ball.
Oh Jesus. Okay. That's a good start. Good start.
I really want to go and search up some bowling balls. They're actually pretty fucking funny, man. But
They
so,
sound like mouse too, like PC mouses, where it's like, oh, it's the Death Adder, stuff like that.
yeah,
The cheesy
yeah,
names.
So actually, our like name that we just kind of like winged on the fly. I was making fun of Pluto's name, Plutonium Falcon, his old name.
Yeah.
So I changed my name to Plutonium Falcon. I changed my name to Plutonium Eagle. And I guess his mic at the time was called the Intruder or something.
Okay.
And so we changed our name to Plutonium Intruders. And so that's what we were going with. Dude, look at this. Hammer Scandal. Storm Phase.
Oh, these are bowling ball names?
Roto Grip Hectic. Vintage Danger Zone.
Oh man, Winter Danger Zone. Perfect team. Perfect team.
Radical Grease Monkey Whack. Like, I'm not even joking. You can't make this stuff up, man.
Oh Jesus! All right, so I'm waiting for the day when your arch rivals come up, the Super Nintendo, and they come to take you down for that fourth spot in RLCS. Oh man. So on that,
so we're Genesis. We're Genesis.
Cool. Right. Not a huge fan of it, but it'll grow on me. It'll grow.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
So on that, before we even get into like RLCS talk, the Pulsar Premier qualifiers just happened. How'd you guys feel going into that? Because that was like basically against all the top 10 teams. So this was a good benchmark to see how you guys are doing.
Yeah, like proving grounds type of thing.
Yeah, kind of.
Actually, so we knew that the qualifiers were like well after. Like, I'm in West Coast, right? So everything, pretty much, I get home like 8:00 EST.
Yep.
Right, at the earliest, generally. So we knew that I probably wouldn't be able to play at least the first match or two, and I actually got like I still am kind of sick. Well, I am sick. So I was actually just gonna tell them to play with the sub, right? I didn't want to like just, I try to be like that kind of like player who's just making like right passes or moving the ball in the right direction, right? Pressuring and stuff, like when it needs to be pressured, and just somebody who can like be an outlet for passing plays.
Yeah.
And if I'm not with it, like my only strength is pretty much gone. So I told them, look, just play with somebody else, and we have Covenel as a sub.
Yep.
Shout outs to my boy Covenel. And I got home after the first set, and I was feeling pretty shitty, but we figured we would just, try game, and it didn't actually go too well. I was playing pretty badly. So I just told him, like, look, play without me. And I just went to sleep, honestly. I don't really know how the rest of our matches went, but they told me that that there was like
3-3.
Yeah, they said that the last game against Market, it was a little bit of a unpleasant ending.
Yeah, it was a
bullshit
goal. Yeah, like I saw it. There's a replay up from Rizzo.
Yeah, I think I saw Rizzo's Twitter. It's like the most random, but whatever. Goal's a goal.
Well, I mean, it happens. And if you're in that situation, it's bound to happen.
It just sucks.
I mean, playing with the sub, that's not too bad. Going 3-3 and
it's not too bad, and as long as we qualify into like the highest league or whatever,
which you guys did, so
yeah, I'm not too bothered, especially considering we haven't really even played with Covenel.
Yeah.
So So
All right.
I'm more or less happy.
All right.
I'm happy.
So going into RLCS, how afraid are you of this open qualifier, 20,000 bajillion teams?
All right.
Especially
I'm
'cause
really
it's best of
happy that
three.
Sonics, you guys are awesome for trying to support your own scene. A lot of companies like game developers don't really promote their own competitive scene outside of like balance changes, right? And so like them hosting their own major, more or less, like if you will, that's pretty legit. So thank you, Psionics. I think that the
All right,
qualifier
stop playing
format.
kiss ass and let's go. No.
No, the qualifier format. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. First, first the pleasantries. I think the qualifier format's bullshit. Straight
Okay.
up. I think it's pretty polarizing within the community. I think that it's a fantastic opportunity for teams that are unknown, but too many teams, best of 3 in such short games, being your lifeline is not enough
Yeah,
for
like
the amount of money that's at risk.
Yeah, like exactly.
I was,
Since it's
I
big
was
money,
like,
I was hoping best of 5.
the format's the most important part in my mind. I don't care if you do the whole thing at LAN. I don't care if you do the whole thing online with the finals at LAN. I don't care if there is a LAN, right? The format is what makes or breaks, in my opinion, any major tournament in any game. And considering how short Rocket League games are, how easy like it is in a best of 3 to just, for instance, in our games in the PPL game against Market, right?
Yep.
That bullshit goal or whatever. That puts you on your last legs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Gotcha.
And if that happens in a 1-1 and you get knocked out and it's against like the most ridiculously, lucky team, if you will, or like a team that's just like, I don't want to say doesn't deserve it, but is like, really catching a break.
Yeah,
Like,
that definitely happens in games too.
It doesn't let you feel satisfied or that you actually like really even had a chance to prove yourself. That was like a great thing about RLCS, like or
RLC.
RPL, RLC,
Oh, okay.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yep.
Having a league format's like a group stage kind of thing. That's pretty awesome because it really gives you a chance. Like, okay, week after week, if you did bad, come back.
Yeah, like I was actually disappointed.
Long and drawn out.
Yeah, with the group play, only 8 teams. I was a little disappointed in that. I was hoping at least like 16 teams per region, and then you split it into like 2 groups of 8 or something like that.
Because honestly, I was surprised they didn't just
teams.
Like as a first tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that they didn't just. I felt that they were a little too friendly towards people who were not even potentially involved in the scene. Like some new team could really just like, have like the best day of their lives and catch a team on like a bad 10 minutes, dude. Like what happens if you disconnect even? Right? Like you really don't get much of a break.
That's
I feel
a big
like
worry because of like DDoSing and stuff. So that's
I know. If you ask me, I don't think that they gave teams enough wiggle room.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt that they could have just honestly invited all the teams who were in the RLC Pro League, whether or not they went to playoffs or not, and just had a major like that, and just had the whole thing at LAN. I mean, I know that they may not want to. They want to be friendly, obviously, towards people who are not like just newer teams, or obviously not all the teams are together, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I'm trying to say. Like, I felt
like I would probably have to disagree with you just because
have 8,000 teams.
Yeah, but at the same time, like this brings
in
a ton of players, which also might bring in a ton of viewers when they get bounced out and stuff like that. And at least this is like, hey, whoever makes it out of this are the best teams in quotes, I guess you would say. But at least there is a group play, which I'm happy about because Because like the group play, like say a crap team does make it through by getting a little lucky or whatever, or gets like the seeding works out where they don't play anyone that's great. Once they get the group play, they're not gonna make top four like no matter what. So, but it is gonna be hard.
But
like there's gonna be a lot of teams that don't make that group play that should. But
that's like what kind of. I'm not gonna say that it's an easy decision to make, but like it really hurts me to see like so many teams that I know like have been involved in the pro scene who are gonna get knocked out. Any of us can get knocked out. Honestly, I buy power, right?
Yeah,
like us, Genesis.
Yeah.
I mean, Kings of Urban. Like every team has bad games. Yeah, 2 bad games. You can have 1 bad game and connection problems for another game. You can like. There's just so many factors. And that's why I think, like, I think they were, ESL.
Yeah.
Everybody dreaded ESL Sundays because of how long it takes. It's like 10 hours of Rocket League.
Yep.
Right?
And for $75.
Yeah, for $75. But when you're talking about, like, trip to LAN, you talk about $75K, I think you've kind of justified your ability to say like, hey, look, if you want to win this money, you're gonna have to compete in best of fives. And, and honestly, I think that seeding was kind of like, I think that they should have maybe been a little bit more aggressive with the seeding.
For what? Like, what do you mean? Because they haven't said what the seeding's gonna be. They've said it's gonna be completely random. I don't necessarily believe them completely. Like I think they're going to play it a little safer. I don't believe that. Yeah, like I think the top 8 teams at least will probably be all split up and they won't have to play each other. But
right,
it depends how they determine that.
What's the point of doing that if you still like, if you're not gonna, if you're gonna make people play through 8,000 teams worth of matches, right?
Yeah.
Like honestly, the top 8 teams don't need to see 7,000, 7,500. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's just a little hard to like say, hey, these 8 teams get buys without them having a tournament structure before this. Like that's the only thing is like, like maybe if they took in like ESL points and let people know, hey, the month of January we're gonna take the top ESL month points, and those guys will get to have their buys or something like that. But they would have to let you know ahead of time. But that would have probably been a good way to do it, is just through ESL's point system. And it's not perfect,
I mean, like,
obviously,
how are they going to determine, how are they going to seed it either way, even if it's like, if you're going to do off power rankings, it's still a little bit biased, if you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Like,
so I felt like,
completely understand.
I felt like it's a little bit of a half-assed decision from them. But, it's not easy. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
I just feel that like I'm scared to see how people are going to be playing.
Yeah, because since they're partnered with Twitch, they might not be able to like use ESL numbers to formulate a plan. So maybe it's just it's just the way it's got to go.
Oh, plus, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, plus it's the first one, so like I think they're gonna work out the kinks here. Hopefully, the teams that are the top 4 teams, hopefully they make it on both sides. I hope to see a fantastic LAN, and I assume
who do you think are going to be the top 4?
So in Europe, it's pretty simple. I think it's. Like, for right now, it's Supersonic Avengers, Weedham Girls, Flipside, and Mocket EU. And Supersonic Avengers are probably on that cusp where they could get replaced by any team in Europe, because Europe's going to be insane. And most of the teams are, like, there's going to be a lot of teams that don't make group play because it's so competitive over there that you could have 2 bad games and then you're screwed. So those 4, I think, are pretty safe. Like, North America, I honestly have no idea anymore. Like, I would think Cosmic would make it. They're probably the only safe team, I think, but we haven't seen them play in a while, so who knows? Plus, I'm a little biased, obviously.
Who's Cosmic?
Yeah, exactly. Right. So I assume they would be safe, and then I would say Kings of Urban would have been safe, but they haven't been playing all that well lately. They've been dropping games to, like, top 10-ish teams, so who knows? Like, they lost to Vex, failure to launch Mocket, and one other team. A House Has Grizzly Bears, all in a week
This is what scares me for this qualifying format, man.
Yeah,
this
like, NA is going to be crazy. Like, you're gonna have to be super consistent going into that. Like, on that day, be super consistent. So, just
like, I'm gonna, you know, like with the Counter-Strike scene, there's like that whole Adderall scandal.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know about that, right?
Yeah. So
Like, I'm not gonna be surprised if like there's gonna be a lot of players like
just wait for Psionic's drug testing.
Loaded up on Red Bull. It's all Red Bull.
Look what you did, Quinn. Look what you did. You just busted the drug scene in Rocket League. So where do you guys think you'll finish? Like, do you guys think you'll be a top 4 team?
I think so.
Like, obviously you hope, but realistically,
I actually think so.
Yeah.
Every day that we've been playing, we've been getting stronger as a team.
Yeah. Plus, you have a month now.
Honestly,
to practice.
Yeah, we have a month, which is a ton of practice time. I probably practiced in this 1 month more than I've ever practiced on Orange Creamsicle.
Yep.
Like, in this past month, it's like us deciding to play together. Actually, you know, Sad's used to like intricate passing plays, and I like to say that Orange Creamsicle, that was like kind of our style from the beginning. Me and Ed trying to, you know, not just be like a team that sits like on the. We tried to like bring it to every team we played.
Yeah.
And Pluto, actually, I felt that, you know, you can feel free to disagree with me here. Untethered was never really what I thought like a team based off of like strategy or tactics, but rather like exceptional mechanics.
Yeah.
I thought that
for sure.
Pluto, Waffles, and Lichinio, like, how many insane shots do you see from Lichinio? How many insane shots do you see from Pluto? A lot.
Yeah, I think
right?
like out of those 3, Waffles was the most
strategic.
Like a positional player and stuff like that. But the other 2 were just like raw mechanics, and if it works, it works, you know.
Yep. And I feel like that they've played with each other, like Waffles and Lichinio played with each other long enough that just kind of helps.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? You know where your teammate's going to be. You know that you can hit that pass without even checking to see if they're going to be there, because you know your teammate is going to be looking for that pass. They've seen it a million times, and they're going to be there for that 1,000,001st time you give it to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I think that actually getting Pluto up to speed with me and Sad, with how we like to play, is actually probably our biggest struggle so far that we face as a team.
Okay.
Pluto's a fantastic, like, fucking incredible player, man. He's, him and Sad, like, I got to give it up. Like, they completely outclass me when it comes to mechanics, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that's honestly what I was kind of looking for when it came to players. Like, I don't want to be one of the more mechanically sound players on my team, because I don't think mechanics are my strength, so to speak. Right?
Gotcha.
I feel that if I can get, the ball to my teammate in a good position and he can fucking finish it, like, I don't know if you actually, my RLC stats, like, I had some goals, right? Like, I had pretty much the same as Edwin, who's like a much more mechanically sound player. And I also had a lot of assists, but like, the amount of times I just fling the ball up high to Gambit in a spot that I know he can score it, right? Or like same even for Edwin. Like, that just makes it better if I know that, okay, I know that this is a dangerous position for the other team. If I just put this ball here and we have someone who can finish it, like, just makes your team that much scarier. So that's kind of what I look for, at least. I was trying to build this team. And right now I'm just trying to... I think our biggest struggle is figuring out how we all like to play. Figuring out where each other like to be. And hopefully we'll be able to capitalize on it. And I think it's showing some dividends. We won ESL last week, so... Not that it's so prestigious, but
I got you. So on that, it was supposed to be a 15-minute interview, turned into 35 minutes.
It's like probably an hour.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
okay.
I told you
that's
I don't
okay.
shut up, man.
That's fine.
I'm sorry.
No, it was good. It was good. But yeah, it's like Like, I'm hoping you guys do well. Good luck in the RLCS. I hope to see you at the LAN. That'd be fun. And,
Dude, you should have just told me to shut up, Gibbs.
nah,
This
you're
could have
good.
been
You're
over
good.
ages ago. No, honestly,
do you wanna
I
plug
hope I
anything?
get to see you guys land too. I'd like to plug Team Rocket Canada. No, my teammates sad. Oh no, there's actually something I do want to talk about. It's quick.
Sure, go for it.
2 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. Quick. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I thought you were gonna bring it up, the whole Gambit scenario.
Well, you kind of talked about Gambit a little bit, but okay. Like, if you want to talk more about him, let's go for it.
Okay, did you have were you planning to bring anything up about him, or you just want me to go ham?
Just go ham. Go for it. Say your piece.
For everybody who's unaware, I guess, the whole situation with the Gambit's forum post and everything. Just so I can, I'm supposed to come off the forum post, but I got sick and distracted, and it's still gonna come, just probably a little bit too late. Gambit, my time with Gambit, it was after he left Swarm and after KOU. At the time, everybody asked me don't you think he's just gonna leave you as soon as you don't win a match or something, or don't you think this or that? My experience with Gambit is honestly he's probably one of the nicest, probably the nicest Rocket League pro. I know within the community, he's always down to anytime someone lets it be known that they're a fan and ranked, or anytime that I had a struggle with something mechanically, or I just had questions, he was always more than happy to answer. He was very friendly, even if we make simple, stupid mistakes that at least for him are years of experience since he was making those same mistakes. He had never made me feel bad about it. He never talked trash. He, I think, is a little bit misjudged, and I think people don't give him enough credit. People obviously only see the bad, and I think that whole forum post scenario, a lot of the context of that's lost over the years. I know that I wasn't a vet, but I know that he really loves Rocket League and he loves competing. He just doesn't want to feel unwelcome. I think that's fair enough. Nobody probably wants to compete in a community where they don't feel where they feel unwanted. Yeah. So to all the people out there, don't be so hard on the guy. I think people need to kind of, you're only going to see the bad parts, not necessarily the good parts. I can't tell you how many times I've seen him just add randoms from rank just because they see that they're big fans, or which is honestly more than I think 90% of the pro scene is willing to do. And he's more than happy to push community forward in any way possible. Game deserves some love, boys.
Well said.
Love. Okay. All right, I'm done.
All right. Good piece. I like it. Sorry, I didn't ask before, but you talked about him a little bit, so I wasn't sure how much more you wanted to go into it. But
it's okay. I just felt that should all be known.
Okay.
I don't know how you felt about it all, but
yeah. So I just didn't really know Gambit all that well. Obviously back during the forum days when he made the post, I was not happy about it. But after that,
fair enough.
Once he came to the pro scene and he wasn't acting out or doing anything bad per se, except for beating us occasionally, which I was come on, Gambit, calm down. Then I was fine with him. I was whatever. He's no Yemen or anything doing dumbass shit. So I was happy with him. And,
he's no Yemen.
Yeah. So I was all right. I'm good with him, and I have no problems with him. And yeah, I was happy he wanted to join the team, and we're gonna move forward from here and see how it goes. It should be a lot of fun. I haven't got to talk to him with a ton lately, but I've talked to him a few times, just not a ton.
You should, man. He's a really nice guy, really.
Yeah. So I need to get into more conversations there, and yeah, it'll be a good time.
I love you, Gambit.
And on that, that's been Quinn Lobdell. So how'd you get your name, by the way? Is it just your name, or no? Because is Quinn part of your name? No, right?
Why are you doing this to me? You put me on the spot.
Yeah.
Honestly, I actually can't tell you just because of. I'd be more than happy to tell you in private, but.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. We'll leave that for a future interview. We'll bring.
Yeah, I'll do that for the next interview.
Yeah, when you're at the RLCS and I'm interviewing you there, then we'll do it. All right.
If I'm at the RLCS and you're interviewing me there, I promise you I'll tell you.
Awesome. All right. Perfect. Write it down, guys. Write it down. We'll get it. We'll get it.
Oh God,
we'll get the scoops.
What have I done?
All right, Quinn. Thanks a lot for joining me. I am not going to put gameplay over this because there's going to be way too much gameplay. So I'm just going to have like a static screen of just Quinn Lobdell.
Oh, you can put some gameplay, man. What's wrong with you? People are going to want to watch something.
I guess I will, but it's 40 minutes. Maybe I'll just put the same 2 games over and over again.
Well, I did like repeat myself a ton. You probably just want to splice out like everything.
That's true. Just true.
Everything.
Like I'm gonna cut this down in about 10 minutes. So, like I'll put like Gambit biggie. And then like should die in a fire because you said that.
Thoughts on Gambit?
Cut it. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Sonic should die in a fire for this fucking tournament format. What the fuck is it? I mean,
perfect. All right. See, I should have cut you off a few minutes earlier, but that was Quinn Lobdell, guys.
I warned you.
Check out Genesis. Cheer them on while they're going through the RLCS and any other tournaments that they do. They got my boy Sad over there, and my other good friend Pluto as well. So, like, I'm rooting for you guys for sure, and hope to see you guys at the LAN. And thanks for joining me, man.
I hope to see you too, man. I hope to see you too. Right. Thanks for having me, Gibbs.
Yep. No
Later,
problem.
guys.
Bye. Just talk a bit here for me because I want to check audio levels. That doesn't help.
That's my Papa Amoney impression.
Okay. All right.
Okay.